Good morning, good morning. How is everyone? I know it is late. I had exterminators at my house this morning, so I couldn't do anything until they were done exterminating. So I'm starting late this morning. I had exterminators at my house this morning, so I couldn't do anything until they were done exterminating. So I'm starting late this morning. I feel like I'm already behind. I don't like it when I feel already behind starting my day out. Welcome in, everyone. We are going to be doing a fun bookworm today. I thought since it's close to back to school time, lots of people are going back to school, it might be fun to do some back to school stuff. So that is what we are doing. We have recently done these, and I'm going to put them out for you guys so y'all can see what we've done on our last few lives. If you guys are wanting to learn to watercolor, you want to do some painting with me, we're going to do an ACEO this morning. It's going to be a bookworm with a stack of books. It's going to be a lot of fun. So join us. Get your pens and papers out. All your things. Hey, Stacy Lee. How's it going? Sorry, I'm starting late today. The exterminators were at my house, and it took them longer than I expected. They got here at 10, and they were supposed to be done in time for me to come out here and get my live started, but it took them longer because they had to do the yard and everything because we had some carpenter ants. So anyway, good to see you too, sweet friend. I hope you guys are doing well today. We're going to be using the meat and paints, and we are going to be using meat and paper, meat and brushes, you know, all the things meat in, of course, as normal. And I am going to go ahead and pull out my paints out of my tin so that I can have those available to paint. Oh, yay! I'm so glad, Stacy Lee. That's awesome. Yep. Their 3x4 paper is really, really good for like your prints. So if you like do your own prints, this paper right here, this 3x4, let me just show you guys. This is a really nice paper. Hang on. Let me pull it up for you so you guys can see it. It's this right here. And it comes like this. And you can make cute little, like smaller cards with this. I'm going to do some smaller cards with just like on the 3x4 card, or not the 3x4, but the 5x, what is it? The 4x6? Yeah, 4x6. So I'm going to do some of these smaller cards this year too, just because I think that they'll be really cute to send out too. And they'll go a little faster if I do the smaller ones. So I got these, and this is the 4x3. Now also I use these for, gosh, y'all, just dumped that drawer out. I use these for printing my prints of my paintings as well, because with the texture, it makes them look very close to the original. And then I trim them down to the 2.5 by 3.5 size, which is really nice. So they're great for that, for running in through your printer and then putting your originals, so you have your prints of your originals. So all of these are prints of the originals that I did, and I used the Meeden 3x4 paper to do it so that they look really close to the original. So, and you can see like this is on this paper, this is on that cheap paper, and you can see how kind of like smudged and blurry it is because it's not good paper. But on this paper, it's very, very clear. It looks really nice. It looks really close to the original. So that is what I use to run my prints. People are always asking me, like, how do you do your limited edition prints? And that's how I do them. I do them onto the 3x4 paper. I print them. Hey, Rain, how's it going? So, like, these are all prints of some of my older work that we did at the beginning of the year. And you can't tell, they look really close to the originals. And so, again, These are the kind of things that I do, that I print. Now, I was playing around on this. This is some linen paper. And then this is a watercolor paper. Even though that seems more vivid and bright, this looks more like the original. So that's what that 4x3 paper is great for doing ACEO prints. I really, really like it for that. All right. So hopefully everybody's kind of jumped in the room now and listened to me babble for a little while about the paper that I use for my prints. I do love the Mead paper, whether it's the 4x3 or the 5x7 or the 9x12. It's all really, really nice. Now I like the 5x7 size for my ACEOs because I can do 4 ACEO sizes and I don't have to waste any paper at all. So I could put all 4 of these on this one size. So if you're looking for something for ACEOs, then this paper is amazing. Currently, they are out of stock. And I warned you guys, I told y'all they would be running out this time of year. Everybody's grabbing their paper in order to get their Christmas cards started. So if you guys have not done that, you need to go ahead and start grabbing up the paper for your Christmas cards, okay? I do, let's see. The Mead postcard paper is right here. They're very, very low in stock on this though, you guys. So that is what we're going to be using for our, no, it does not. It's just watercolor paper. It doesn't come with envelopes. I put mine on a 5x7 like this. I put it on a card like this. But this right here is the postcard paper that I use for a lot of my Christmas cards. And so it fits on a 5x7 really nicely, 5x7 card. And these do not have envelopes, but they do come with the border already around them like this. And you get 10 in a pack. So this is how you get them. They're 100% cotton, 300 GSM. They're really, really nice. And they work perfect for Christmas cards. And in September, we're going to be starting our Christmas card series again, like we did last year, where we did all the different Christmas cards together. We painted one every day. These are some that we did last year. So I am going to be starting that in September with you guys, and we're going to do 10 days of Christmas cards. So if you are wanting to do that series with me and you want to use the same paper, this is the paper I'll be using. But like I said, they're very, very low in stock right now. I bet I have sold, just in my showcase alone, probably 100 packs of these paper in the last week. That would be really, really close to accurate. I mean, maybe not quite that many, but pretty close. I might have even sold more than that. I really don't know. But they're going fast. And right now it's showing that they have like 6 more left in stock and then they're out. So if you're wanting to do this Christmas card series with us, then go ahead and stock up on some of this paper because it goes really fast this time of year. And again, we'll be starting the Christmas card series in September, where we do one Christmas card every day together. I teach you how to draw it and paint it. And I might even show you how I put them together this year. They're pretty easy to do. I just get the 5x7 cards from your local hobby store, and I glue them onto decorative paper. And then I glued the decorative paper onto the card, and then I put them in an envelope. And these come with envelopes. These do. It's just a regular pack of 5x7 cards. So, yes, Stacy Lee, you did the Christmas card series with me last year, I remember. What cardstock and backing paper do you use? I just use standard ones that I get at the hobby store. Yeah, for these. But, you can use anything you want. You just pick a matching paper and you just stick it on there just like that. and you end up with a really cute little card for Christmas. And if you use glue sticks, then they can pull them off pretty easily, and put a frame around it if they want to or whatever. So it's not something that you have to do, that has to stay on the card. Because, hi Violet, thank you so much for the follow. But yeah, so we'll be doing a 10-day series on our Christmas cards this year, starting in September. So if you're wanting to do that with us, be sure, and you want to use the same paper that I'm using, it's going to be this 4x6 Meeden postcard paper. Okay. And again, they are selling really, really fast. So make sure that you stock up now. Dallas, thank you so much for following me. I appreciate the follow. Guys, y'all don't forget to grab your engagement points right here. Remember, those help your account and my account. So be sure you grab those engagement points while you are in here. And it tells the system that you're not a bot. It tells them that you are a real human being, which is what we want. And it helps to push your content and my content out into the world. So grab them. Be sure you're tapping the screen, hitting some likes. Bama Girl, thank you so much for the follow. Hi, Mary. How's it going? So glad that you're here. You guys, I got a espresso machine sent to me. Like, it's not my niche. Like, normally it's just art supplies, but this company sent me an espresso machine. It was Calzar. And I made my first latte ever that I've ever done in my life. Oh, thank you, Rain. I love it. Thanks for the for the heart hands. And it is so good, y'all. I'm so excited to have this machine. Like, I never would have purchased anything like that because it's like so extra. But I have had so much fun playing around with it and making my own lattes. So this morning I'm drinking a latte. A vanilla latte. Hey, Talia, how are you? So glad you're here. All right, so let me show you guys what we're going to be doing this morning. We are going to do I figured it's close to back to school. Everybody's kind of getting ready for back to school. So we are going to do a bookworm this morning. I thought that would be a fun one to do. So let me show you guys the one that we're going to do today. I'm going to put it up on the screen. It's going to pop up right here. So this is the bookworm that we're going to do. I think he's super cute. Thank you so much for the roses. Stacy Lee, thank you for the claps. You guys are awesome. I'm so thankful. Those of you who send gifts, you guys are amazing, amazing. I love receiving those gifts that you guys send me. So thank you so much. Okay, so we are going to do the bookworm. And let me pull it up on the screen so you guys can get a large shot of it too. Now, when you do your screenshots for the bookworm, if you were going to do a screenshot, go ahead and remember that, let me see if I can get it bigger. There we go. That you can hold your hand down on this, or your finger down on the screen, and clear the comments off. And that way you can get a bigger image of it. So this is the image we're going to do today. If you guys want to take a screenshot of that really quickly, just hold your finger down on the screen. It will clear you'll get the option to clear comments. And then once you do, you can take a screenshot of it without the comments. Okay, so that's what we're going to be painting today. Everybody take your screenshots, get your paints, get your brushes, get your paper, all the things. We're going to get started in just a second. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go ahead and get moving on today's image. All right, so we're going to be using an ACEO size, which is going to be the 2.5 by 3.5 inch size. What I have done is taken the 5 by 7 sheet, and I have cut it down to the 2.5 by 3.5 inch size. And you get 4. You can get 4 out of a 5 by 7. So if you're looking at the paper, I can't pin this size because it's sold out. So I'm going to pin the 3 by 4 size because you can also do it on that size as well and just trim it down if you choose to. So like if I wanted to do if I wanted to do this size on here, I could just tape it off and paint it and then trim it. So, but we're gonna do the 2.5 by 3.5 inch size. So you can get 3 or you can get 4 of these on one sheet. So if you have a block of this 5 by 7, you can get 80 ACEO sizes with no waste. So I like that there's no extra paper to throw in the trash when you cut this down for this size. That's why I like the 5 by 7 size, because you can get 4 out of that. So that's what I'm using, but also the 3 by 4 works as well, to trim it down. Currently they're sold out of the 5 by 7 size. So, but I love the 3 by 4 size just as much, equally as much. And I use it for my prints as well. And you can do small cards and all kinds of things with it. So, all right. So we're going to grab, whatever wood you want to put yours on. I'm going to tape mine down to a piece of this, birch wood, and I'm going to give myself a 1/4 inch margin all the way around. So go ahead and get yours taped off. Now, if you're using the 3 by 4 size, you're going to want to tape off a bigger margin so that you have, or you're going to want to just trim it down later, so that it gets down to the 2.5 by 3.5 inch size. Thank you, Stacy Lee. I appreciate those gifts so much. So that it gets down to the 2.5 by 3.5 inch size. Thank you, Stacy Lee. I appreciate those gifts so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody who sends me gifts, you guys are wonderful. I'm just always so grateful to get all of those. It does help me, guys, in my ranking. And when my ranking gets better, then we are pushed out more to the FYP. So I am thankful when you guys send gifts, because it does help my account. It also helps your account because TikTok does like engagement. And the more you engage, the more it knows you're human. So be sure you click up here onto this Heart Me fan club area too, because that definitely helps your account and helps my account, to let the system know that you are a person, and it helps to push your content and my content out there as well. Tap the screens if you can, give me some likes, and also share or repost the live if you feel up to that. That is always helpful as well, and I'm always grateful for that. The more you engage, the better things go for us in our lives. And we want as many people in here working on our painting as we can get, because it's going to be super fun for all of us. All right, so here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a set of paints, whatever paints you want to use. You're going to need some brushes, and you're going to need a pencil and eraser to draw with, and you're going to need some paper. That's the basics that you need. Now, I'm going to be using a lot of different things, and I will talk about each thing that I use as we go. But you only need the basics. You don't have to have everything I have in order to do this drawing. You can make do with whatever you choose. Okay? All right. Y'all give me some comments and let me know that you're ready to get started on this painting. I need to see some ready in the comments. Okay? So when I get a few readies in the comments, we're going to get started. Y'all go ahead and type in ready. Let me know you are ready to go, and we will get going on our drawing. I'm going to pull out my brushes while y'all are doing that. All right, we've got one ready. Who else? Who's ready to go? Holly is ready. Perfect. That's great. I'm going to grab my detail brushes. Let's see. What else do I need? All right. I think we're good. All right. So, got all my brushes out. So what we are going to do, Mary, I'm glad you're watching, but that's okay. Are you ready to get going? You ready to get watching? All right. So we're going to use several brushes today. You guys know I'm a huge fan of the Meet In set first. This is my very favorite set that I use, and I use it every single solitary day without fail. Thank you, Pharaoh Mom, for reposting. I appreciate that. And you get a 1, 3, 5, and 7 out of this set. It is, they are very, very tight in the ferrule, so you don't lose your bristles. And thank you, Stacy Lee, for reposting. They don't rust, so you don't get any kind of rust in your art, which is nice. They're short, so you can control your strokes really easily. And they have an ergonomically built handle to help you reduce hand fatigue, which is really, really nice, okay? So if you're looking for a brush set that is a professional set, but one that's not going to break the bank, then this is a definite set for you. This is a very nice professional set, made very well, very high quality, but also the price is so reasonable because you're not going to be paying, you know, those high prices for one single brush. You're going to get a full set for the price that you see below, and there's a 4 set and there's a 9 brush set. So either one works. I have the 4 brush set. I have had the 4 brush set for almost 2 years now, and they are still amazing and wonderful, and I still use them every day, and I love, love, love them. They're my very, very favorite brush. Okay, so that is the first set of brushes that we're going to be using. The second set of brushes that we'll be using are going to be the Golden Maple detail brush set. So these detail brushes are amazing. They come in a case like this. You get your liners, you get your round brushes, you get your details, you get your fan brush, your angled brush, all of the different miniature painting brushes. You even get some flat brushes in this set, okay? So, and you get a case to hold them in. You get 20 different brushes in this set, and it is my favorite set when it comes to small detail work. So those are the 2 sets of brushes that we will be using today, for those of you who are wondering. Now, we're also going to be using I'm going to be using the Nick Pro mechanical pencil, which is going to be if I can find it, the number 5. Let me find it. I dropped it down in here and I don't know what I did with it. Hang on one second. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I'll use the 7 today since I don't know what I did with my 5. Oh, I see it. It's hiding behind my water bucket. All right, here we are. So this is the number 5 mechanical pencil. I love a good mechanical pencil set. And that is what we're going to be using. It's number 9 down in the shopping bag below, if you guys are wondering. And I'm also going to be using the Meet In tube paints, okay? Now, I put these in a pan. They're not in a tube, but they come in a tube normally, okay? They're not in a tube, but they come in a tube normally, okay? This normally, let me see if I can show you guys. They come like this. Okay, but what I do is I put them all in, sorry guys. So there are the tube paints. That's what they look like. Those are all the colors. They're a large tube. They're a 0.4 fluid ounce, which is really nice. And you get 48 colors in this set. I put all of mine in this tin, and I keep them in here, and then I just refill them as I need to. And that's just simply because I prefer to have access to all of them as opposed to just pulling the tubes as I need them. So I like to keep them all out so I can use them as I need them. And then I just refill them as I need to. Okay, so that's the paints we're going to be using. Any questions on any of that before we get started? We're going to go ahead and get started drawing. I'm not going to do a background today because we're going to do some splatters around it, but I don't feel like we need really a background, although we could do a pink background so that we have that frame, and I think it would be really nice. Let's just do that. We'll just do a pink. So I'm going to go ahead and take some clear water and my number 5 medium brush, and I'm just going to put it onto my paper. Okay, so everybody go ahead and put some clear water on your paper. And then grab whatever pink you like. I'm going to grab this light pink right here. And I'm going to put it all over my paper. Just like that. Put it fairly dark just because it's pink and that's a light color. Now, once you're done with that, you're going to take your paper towel or your art sponge or whatever you want, and you're going to dry your brush off, okay? And then you're going to just pick up that color off the paper just like this. And then you're going to turn it, and you're going to do it this way. Okay, so now the paper looks white again, right? But it's not, okay? It is going to be, it's going to have a slight pink tint to it. So when we peel the tape, we're going to have kind of a frame around our paper. And you'll see that at the end. All right? So go ahead. Once you're done with that, you're going to want to dry your background. So make sure your background gets dried. I'm going to be using my heat gun to dry mine. And then once it's dry, we will get to drawing. We're going to do a stack of books, and then we'll draw the worm at the very end. I'm going to do the coffee cup first. I think that's going to be the easiest place to start. So just make sure your background's nice and dry. Okay, and once it's dry, go ahead and get your pencil out and your eraser in case you need it, because remember, we're probably going to have to erase. I'm not even sure where my eraser is. I lose more erasers, y'all, than I could count. Here, there it is. All right. I'm also going to use my kneaded eraser to lighten it up in a few minutes, but let's go ahead and do this one. Do this first in a regular, with regular pencil, and then we will go. All right. So you guys ready to start drawing? All right. If you are drawing with me and you're painting with me today, go ahead and comment in the comment section, drawing, so I know. And if you're just watching and learning and having fun with that, then type watching in the comments. And that way I know who's doing what. And if I need to wait on people, I know who to ask, you know, so I can make sure that we're all on the same page. All right. We're going to start with the, you'll be putting this on your, yes, it will be on a replay, Stacey Lee. It certainly will. Deborah, thank you so much for that comment. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do kind of like a little flat smiley face right here for the bottom of our cup. Okay, Rain, so glad you're here. Barbara, thank you for the comment. Yes, and just remember, replays are always available, so you don't have to do it with me live. Let's go ahead and now draw our side up for our cup. And then on this side, we're going to go up as well. And then we're going to do another little smiley face right here at the top of the cup. And then just bring that around and it meet at the bottom. And let's do our handle. Just like that. Okay, so now we have our coffee cup drawn. On my tube, Linda, you can find it on my tube of you, the tube of you. And just so everybody knows, I am Coach Ellen's Creations on every single platform. That's how you can find me. All right, let's draw the books. So we're going to do a line across here that meets the cup just above the bottom of the cup. Okay. Thank you, Talia, for that gift. I appreciate it so much. You're so sweet to do that. Hand heart. I love it. Hey, Mom. How's it going? I started late this morning because we had exterminators at our house, so. Tammy, thank you so much for the follow. All right, so we have our first little book. Our first book is going to go like this. And then we're going to kind of bring the top together. It's kind of rounded at the top, just like that. Okay. Now, we're going to do the next book. We're going to come off a little bit longer. So we're going to make it a little longer. So we're just going to add a little line at the top there. And then we are going to make that rounded. I'm going to make it a little thinner. And it's going to go right across the whole top. Just like that. And it's going to come around like this. Just like that. Now the back side of this book is going to come down right in between the handle of the coffee cup. Thank you for the heart, me Mom. I appreciate it. Now this next book is going to be at an angle. Okay. So we're going to kind of bring it across like this and down. So you're going to need your eraser to erase the area that we don't want on there. Bring the book here. And then we're going to do kind of like a sideways smiley face for the side of that book, just like that. And then we're going to draw it all the way at an angle like this. Actually, that's a little bit too much. We're going to kind of make that angle a little more flat like that. Okay. And we're going to make that go off the page. You know what? That's still not quite. It's still too much. Sorry, I keep hitting this. All right, so let's try this again. We're going to round that out. And then we're going to go like this. There we go. And then go ahead and round that out here. And we're going to bring this book to touch it like that. Okay, just like that. So we have that book. Now, don't do the top of this book just yet because we've got another one that's coming at an angle this direction. So go ahead and bring that one in like this so we know where that's going to go. And make that little rounded edge and bring it out like this. And then we're going to bring it in. Okay. And then we can bring that across like this. We want to make sure that that goes even. So we're going to go like this. Okay. So this book is kind of already on here like that. And we've got it finishing out like that. Okay. Now round this end out. So we have the end of this book on there. So just the barely, top of that showing is it. Okay. Now bring this one at an angle like that. Make sure that angle is the same as the angle on the other side so it comes out looking like it's supposed to, like an actual book itself. Okay, now don't do the top of it because we are going to add the book that's open that the worm is reading. Okay, so this is how we're going to do that. We're going to do kind of like a wide triangle. So we're going to go in like this, and then we're going to make like a little rounded spine, and then we're going to go up like that. Okay, and that's going to be the book. Now we're going to do the spine like this. Okay, and the sides of the book are going to kind of just barely go out at an angle. And then we're going to connect that like this. Okay, and then we're going to have kind of a rounded little open page, and we're going to have our pages. So just kind of draw your pages like that. Okay, as if they were open. All right, so there's our book, and then we can bring this book now to connect to that one. All right, so now we have that stack of books just like that. Okay. All right, now we are going to, this is going to have pages, and this is going to have pages. Okay. All right, now it's time for the worm. So we're going to do the hands first. So we're going to kind of do like a little smiley face, and then we're going to do a little oval at the top, and we're going to bring those arms down like that. Over here, we're going to do that same thing. We're going to do a little smiley face, and then we're going to make that oval in and down. So that's the little hands coming up for the worm. This is where the face is going to go, just like that. Bring it all the way around for the head. Smiley face. We're going to do the eyes right here. And then we're going to have the glasses all the way around like this. And all the way around like this. Okay. A little square right here. A little square right here. There's the glasses. Then we're going to do the body is going to come just like this. It's going to make like little humps that come around like that. All the way to where it's sitting on top of the book. And then we're going to bring it up. Like a tail. Like that. Okay, so there's our little bookworms. What do you mean hands? No, these are the hands. These are the little arms right here. There's the neck. Okay. I'm going to have to put some tape on. I'm going to have to put some painter's tape on my washi tape. I like to use washi tape because it gives me a really clean line on my washi tape. I like to use washi tape because it gives me a really clean line. All right, so how is everybody doing? If you're drawing with me, go ahead and comment 1 if you're done and you're ready to move on, and we're going to start putting some color on them. If you're ready for color, give me a 1 in the comments. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, Talia is ready. All right, so here's what we're going to do next. I'm going to move y'all over just a tad because I don't want to keep bumping the camera. Okay, so we have our little worm. You know what? He's got a little back here that we need to kind of do as well, like that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take my... Hi, Ari. How are you? All right, so we are going to now roll our kneaded eraser over and just lighten up our lines. Honestly, this right here is a little wonky, and I'm trying to decide if I need to fix that. So I think it needs to be up a little bit more. Let me just try this. I'm going to fix this right here, guys, really quickly. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this book and I'm going to draw it out more like this. Like that. Then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to go here and here like that. And I'm going to go across like this. That's better. That way we have more, that stack looks a little more straight. It doesn't look like it's about to tip over. Sometimes I just have to repair things. All right, there we go. That looks much better. Okay, so now I'm going to lighten those up. I'm good. Thank you for asking. I'm glad that you're doing well. Glad you're here this morning. We are just drawing a bookworm and some books this morning because we figure it's back to school week for a lot of people. I know my grandkids started back this morning, and my granddaughter's first year of preschool, and my grandson is starting 4th grade. And their mom homeschools them, and she did such a good job on getting their classrooms set up and everything special for them this morning. They had balloons on their chair. They had some little treats at their desk, and she was excited about starting their first day. So I'm praying that they have a wonderful first year, or a wonderful year, and that Riley has a good first year and Jackson has a good 4th year, because I know that starting school is an exciting time. So we're doing a bookworm today to commemorate the starting of the new school year. All right, so I'm going to take my Meeden number 1. It doesn't look like he's sitting on the book. Wonder if top book needs to go back a bit. Well, it has, let me show you. You can't see it because I've lightened it up. But right here is his belly. So that's sitting on top of the book right there. I don't know if you can see that. So it kind of shows him sitting on the book there in the corner. And then you kind of get the assumption that he's sitting on it in the back too. But let's make this book bigger and that will help. Yeah, let's move it back. So let's make it longer like this. And we'll make it that way. It shows kind of his belly on there a little bit better. Get the... And then we've got right there. There we go. Maybe that's a little bit better. Does that look better? Rain? I still feel like it looks weird. Hang on. Let's fix it. All right, we're going to do this whole little area over. You guys know that the sketch for me is really the most important part, because I have a tendency to follow that sketch pretty rigidly when I'm getting the color put on. So let's go ahead and fix this. I think that needs to come down, is why it's doing that. I think I've got it at too much of an angle. Yep, that's better. And then we'll come across here like this. Sorry guys, I want to make sure I get this right. That's what I needed to do. Okay, so here's how we're going to fix this. We're going to draw the top of the book first. That way we know how far we need that book to be. And then we draw this part and we can connect them. That's going to make it way better. There we go. And then that one comes around like that. There. Now we can put his belly on the actual book. Okay. I can. Yes, Jess, I can. All right. So now we can bring him around like this. So he's sitting on the book. Like that. Better? Y'all have to tell me if that looks better. I think it does. He looks kind of fat, but that's okay. Worms can be fat. What you think? Somebody tell me. A bit better. I just felt like he was in danger of falling off. I know, right? I feel like his belly needs to come like around like this. So it goes and then it goes, and then I think it should come around like this on top of the book. Like that. Yeah, I think that looks better. What do you think? And then maybe we give him a little bit bigger head so he looks more proportioned. And then his glasses. There. I think that looks better. I don't know, though. He just looks weird. I think it's this area right here that's messed up. I think it needs to dip in more there. So I'm going to take that and bring it down. So I'm going to bring it down like this. And then I'm going to bring his belly up like that. I don't know if that looks better or not. I think that looks worse. Y'all, I'm struggling with the worm today. You guys know, though, I'm going to play around with it till I figure it out. We're going to leave it like that for now. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. We'll figure it out as we paint. Okay, he may come out wonky, but you guys know this is all about learning. I am not the expert. I'm just on here making mistakes with you guys, and that's what we're going to do. Make like a hill and then go dipped out and go up into the tail. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, but it's not really working. So I'm going to try the whole thing again. As long as you guys are patient with me, we're going to figure this out together. All right, so we have the hand drawn. Here's the little hand that comes out. Now, by the hand, he has a little... I'm going to draw the book so I can see it. Okay, he has a little hump right there. And then he has a bigger hump right here that kind of comes around and touches the book. And then he comes around here and touches the book. Goodness, y'all. Then he comes down here and touches the bottom of the book. And then here, like this. And then he kind of starts here and goes up like that. And then here. This is why I have to have an inspiration pick, because I need to be able to see stuff like this. And then he goes here, and then here, and then here. Like that. Okay, that definitely looks better. So that's where we're going to settle with that, guys. It's not going to be perfect because remember, we are just, I'm learning. Okay, and then we've got his glow glasses. We'll fix his head and all that in a little while. All right, so kneaded eraser over the top, lighten up the lines, and we will go from there. All right, we've got him kind of drawn out, sort of, and it's time to start putting color on. Goodness gracious, y'all, I'm so sorry that took so long. Okay, but that's okay, because that's what this is about, learning, remember? This is about us all learning together how to do it. And you guys need to know that when I'm doing my drawings, I struggle just as much as you guys do. Thank you, Rain, for those gifts. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate y'all's patience and me trying to figure that out. This really didn't look that difficult, but now that I'm drawing it, I'm like, holy crap, this is a little bit more difficult than I expected. But that's okay. All right, we got it done, and now it's time to put some color on. So I'm going to take my Meeden #1 brush, and I'm going to put some color into the book. So I'm going to do clear water first, and I'm going to put it in the book itself at the very bottom. Now remember, when you do paint, it's going to follow the water. So you don't have to worry about the water or the paint draining into any area that you don't want it to go in. As long as you don't put water in that area, you're not going to end up with that problem. So make sure you get it full of water, and then take whatever color you're going to use. I'm going to use purple, and I'm going to drop it in. You want to drop it in fairly equal all the way down, and then we will add some shading in just a minute. Okay, go ahead and rinse your brush. Make sure that you've got your color down wherever you want it to go. And then while it is still wet, we're going to add in some shadows, okay? So I'm going to take my detail brush. This is going to be the 20. Oh, no, sorry, this is the 12. And I'm going to take that same dark pigment, that same purple, but I'm going to make it darker. And I'm going to drop it right along the edge here. And I'm going to go right along the bottom. Remember, it needs to still be wet to get this like blend. Then we're going to go right here across the middle in 2 spots. And then we're going to go right here in one spot. Okay. And then we're going to go down right here in one spot. Okay. And then we're going to go down the spine. Just like that. We're going to go along the side of the coffee cup. And then you're going to rinse your brush and you're going to just kind of blend that out around the edges. And we'll put some highlights in there in just a minute that'll help bring out the details of that book, okay? But the idea is to have the darkness there first, all the shadows. And then when we put the details in, it's going to bring those shadows out. Okay. Thank you for the Go Popular, Rain. Appreciate it, appreciate it, appreciate it. Okay. So now what I want you guys to do is dry that off. Okay. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Okay. We're going to take our 003 in our Grabby Multiliner. Thoughtful Dreamer 63, thank you for the follow. We are now going to just run right across here, right down the spine first. We're going to do the lines of the book. So we're kind of making little smiley faces or little frowny faces. And then you're going to go ahead and kind of go along the edging. Just like that. Just like that. Across the spine. Just like that. Now I'm going to take the 05. Just like that. Now I'm going to take the 05. Let me find it. Or the 005, sorry, not the 05, but the 005. And we are going to now darken up the spine, like the outside spine areas. So you can kind of see that. And then we're going to add our white in there, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to grab whatever smallest white gel pen you have. I'm using the Lango set, or if you want to use white paint, you can do that too, or like white watercolor, you can do that too. You just may have to put extra on there. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of outline these little areas of the spine that gives us that shaping of the book. Just like that. And it's not going to be anything huge, just enough to show kind of what that book looks like in a shape. Okay. Just like that. All right. Tammy, thank you for the follow. All right. So now let's do the next book. So now you're going to take your brush again. You're going to do that same thing You're going to drop in clear water in just the areas that you want. Hang on, my water's a little purple. I need to dump it and get clean water. You're going to put it in just the areas that you want your pigment to go, okay? So just in that next book, and that's it. So go ahead and drop your water in there. Go around your coffee cup. We'll do the coffee cup in a minute. Okay. Make sure you get all the area that you want to be covered in that color. And now we are going to get our blue color, or whatever blue color. I'm going to use the cerulean blue. And I'm going to drop that in my area that's wet. Don't worry about distinguishing the difference between the top of the book and the side of the book right now. Just drop the color in there, okay? We'll worry about that in a little while. Okay. All right, now what we're going to do with this is we're going to let it dry, and then we're going to kind of define our areas. So go ahead and dry it off. And we're going to take our detail brush. We're going to dip into that same color blue. We're just going to have some darker pigment from it. And we're going to give ourselves kind of a little bit of an outline on where that spine starts. Just like that. Okay. Now, get some regular, just plain water and kind of smooth that over and blend it out so you don't have any harsh lines. So just plain water. Remember, it reactivates with water, so just rub on it until you get it kind of blended so it's not too harsh. But you still have that separation. So you can still kind of see where the top of the book is versus the spine of the book. Okay. Now I'm going to take just a little bit of this like bluish green color, and I'm going to put a little bit right here where that spine's going to have a little bit of a marking. And then I'm going to do it again right here and right here. Okay.